Let's rap then, no cap, I'm captain. Bands elastic, the racks are wrapped in. See-through plastic, the camera's flashing. We live that life, 4-piece suit. She said I look so dashing, and I came to die. On my lap where I placed a napkin. This ain't just rapping, this a lifestyle you can't match with. Let's rap, get you tapped in.
Kick back on him in the whip that's foreign. Drip drop on him with a chick that's gorgeous.
Alright, we have the second episode of Let's Rap. Today, we're blessed with the presence of having Kazza. Thanks for being here.
What's good?
Yeah, appreciate it. You can check her out on Instagram at KillerKXO, a hot new artist. So today what we want to do is we just want to ask you some questions, get an idea of, what your artistry is like, your type of genre of music, what influenced you, that sort of thing.
All right.
So just to get started, give us like a quick breakdown of how you started and why you started.
So basically, like, I've been writing poetry since I was probably like 9 or 13, and I just always loved hip hop. I've always been big into it, so I always wanted to fuck with it, but I was always just too chicken shit to really put my stuff out there when I was younger. I was being scared of what people would think, and then I just grew older and I was like, you know what, people gonna talk shit regardless, right? So I was like, let me just do my thing. So about 2 years ago, I went through some shit with court and everything, so I was just like, you know what, I almost lost everything, so I was just like, fuck it, let me just go straight into it. Like, if I go, I go. If I don't, like, at least I could say I did,
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, about 2 years ago, I dropped Fakin', and then, I went to the studio on New Year's Eve, and then just started dropping my shit since then.
And then in regards to influence, like who influenced you when you what artists do you look at and you're like, yeah, like this is gonna make me want to rap, you know what I mean?
I don't want to be stereotypical with like the main rappers, but honestly, Pac and Big, like they were always like my main influence. Like Tupac big time because I'm heavy on his poetry, but Biggie definitely when it comes to like the bossy shit. I like the flow. I've always like. And it motivates me too. It's like I like listening to the old school. I'm definitely like more of an old school artist than me.
Right. So in terms of your style, you'd say, are you more into the lyrical content, or are you more into the auto-tune type, young generation type music?
I can't fuck with auto-tune. My voice does not go with it. Like it really does not. Some of my producers try to put auto-tune on my choruses. Like sometimes I do, cause I'm not a singer, and I've been trying to do more melodic fucking choruses and whatnot. But yeah, like I'm definitely more into like the old school boom bap, throwback sounds, but I'm trying to be versatile, because it's like we're in a growing era, so it's like I want to have something for everybody. So all the tracks I dropped so far are pretty like versatile.
Okay, that's good. And then just in regards to like, I guess content, what do you feel like you talk about, or what are you trying to talk about, or your message in your raps?
My message, honestly, like so far what I've dropped, it's a lot of brokenheartedness, but it's like typical Taylor Swift shit a bit, but there's a little thug into it.
Right.
Yeah, basically that. I really want to talk about like the opiate crisis in my hometown and stuff. Like there's a lot of broken people and stuff, so I feel like that inspires me a lot to write about it, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to it too. So.
And where are you from? Again?
I'm from Timmins, but I'm originally from Wawa.
Shout out Timmins.
Shout out Timmins. Wawa too, you can't forget Wawa.
Right.
You know where Wawa is?
No.
Well, Wawa's like straight in the bush,
okay.
But yeah, it's like a population 2,000.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was small. So growing up there, it's like, yeah, everybody's on the dick, everybody's like, so I was like, when I moved to Timmins, that's when I was like, you know what, let me just start dropping my shit.
And then what kind of what kind of beats do you go after? Like, are you more like the, like you said, the hardcore, or are you like the slower melodic type? Like, what kind of beats are you kind of into?
I'm pretty versatile, but honestly, like, I'm really, and this is to anybody watching, I am looking for G-Funk beats. I want a G-Funk producer, and it's like a lost craft, honestly. Like, I need to find like an old school, like, producer who's just with the shits.
Right.
But I tried, like, I don't like the too hardcore, because it's like, I don't like the energy it gives off, but I like the fun boom bap kind of, like, those ones.
Okay. And then just in regards to you selecting people to work with producer-wise, what do you look for?
Honestly, I don't care about followers. I don't care about that. What I'm looking for when I work with people is like consistency, like their work ethic. If it takes them forever to hit me back up, if they're quick with their shit, and like just their talent, basically, like their work, their craft. Like if it's good, if it's something that I can fuck with, you know?
Yeah. So you're not looking. It doesn't need to be a big name producer to kind of work with.
Nah, and like I'm not really there yet, but I'm still working on it. But I would definitely be up to working with somebody with lots of followers and whatnot, but honestly it don't really face me right now.
Right. And just in regards to like the whole rap game, talk to like what it's like to do what you do and get into that world. Like just talk about that. Because one of the things, sorry not to cut you, but one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that we're educating others that want to get into that world. So just talk to your struggles, things, ups and downs, like that sort of thing.
So one thing I would say, you definitely have to have your confidence, because it's like coming into this, you need to be confident, especially as a woman, because you got everybody and their moms trying to criticize you, especially if you're trying to be on the sexy tip. Like this music video I'm dropping in like 3 weeks for Bang Out. It's actually like the first time I'm doing like a little sexy tip on it. So I was like, I'm not used to being sexy. I'm always like in hoodies and sweatpants and shit.
I was gonna say, what is your style? Are you more like the sexy dresser, or are you more, like you said, like more thugged out, like, you know? Like,
I'm not like super thugged out, but like I like being able to be sexy and not showing a whole bunch of skin either, you know? And it's like, I feel like we're in a generation where we praise like big ass and tits and stuff, right? And it's like nothing against that by all means, but it's like my natural body ain't like that. So it's like I'm just trying to be comfortable in what I wear and just like, you know, still be confident and not feel like I gotta go to the doctors and get a bunch of work done, you know? So I'm like, I like wearing like old school stuff, like 90s style is my shit. I like wearing like genie pants, like paper bag waist, like crop tops, like all that, kind of like a Nalia kind of.
I was just gonna say that. That was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and TLC, they have some real dope shit.
Right. Would you say that in the obviously being a female artist, that more female artists should come together and work together? Because I feel like sometimes they don't collaborate, and let's face it, like it's a male-dominated sport, right? So,
yeah, definitely.
So talk to about like what you feel like females should come together in terms of like obviously keeping consistent with the lyrical content and not having to like sell out in terms of just your body, you know, the sexuality part of it.
Yeah, so I definitely think more females should work together, but the problem is with that is, I guess it's kind of like the politics, like how the men have, but it's not so much that, but women are mad petty, like they're mad petty, even some of my own friends. It's just like, I don't know, a lot of women are like, they're very competitive, right? So it's like a lot of women have a hard time working together and being like on the same level without trying to outshine the other one, or like being salty, I find. So it's like, that's something, like I'm really open, I'm like free, I'm like, I have a hard time setting my personas from my like male business to my rap sometimes, so I'm always in like a people pleasing mood sometimes, and I'm just like, that's something I've been trying to work on myself as an artist, because I realize you can't be in the people-pleasing mood when it comes to this shit, because people will walk all over you and they're gonna come try to eat your food.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And do you think rap right now, because everybody's trying to do it, do you think it's watered down?
I mean, it depends. The ones who are
quality of it anyway. What do you think?
I'm not really one for new age rap, honestly. Like I fuck with Cardi.
Either am I. I'm not really.
Right? Yeah, I like old school because it's more like there's more depth to it. You know, people are talking about more than just pussy and drinking and like, you know, they were talking about that back then too, but they were adding it in with like the mix. So yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, I feel like you said, like even like the auto tune, like people are just trying to copy the same style.
Yeah.
You know, how come they don't try to be unique and be themselves?
Because some people ain't original, right? Not everybody's creative, not everybody's original.
That's true.
So it's like, I go into a lot of these sites and like review boards trying to get my songs out there. So I hear a lot of other artists too, and I feel like a lot of people are trying to be like on the Juice WRLD tip, like, or just, I don't know really much for female artists. I don't see female artists a lot on the review boards, but for men, I feel like a lot of people trying to do like more like the emo rap kind of vibe, you know, like more singing-y kind of, yeah. So
I know what you mean. just in regards to the Toronto landscape, what would you say about Toronto artists? Like, do you think they're up and coming? Like, are they on the same playing field with a lot of the, we can't even say American, let's say global artists? Like, what do you think?
In the last recent years, I definitely think Toronto's putting themselves on the map. I think Toronto, like in the next year or two, especially with all the stuff Drake's been doing, I feel like Toronto's gonna have their own category pretty soon. Like, and they'll start being like recognized from the States for sure, because it's like, you see how people recognize like Atlanta artists, New York artists, and all that, and different. They all have their own flavor and they all have their own style. So I feel like Toronto, like we finally got enough backing, and like academics doing a lot of interviews with Toronto artists too. So I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be big soon, and we'll have our own we'll have like a lot more opportunities as artists soon, because of like people like you and stuff too, opening up these businesses and meeting with artists and giving more artists more potential in Canada to be able to have their stuff reviewed and saw, and you know.
You think there's a sound to Toronto artists? Like,
Definitely.
I was gonna ask you, like, you know, like I always feel like when we talk, you know, Toronto artists, I feel like there's a sound to Toronto artists. But then the thing is, I think a lot of American viewers, whoever will eventually tune in, I feel there's so many different like twangs and there's subcategories, and not to mention like from province to province it's different, and I don't think people understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. If you're going with the Scotians to the Ontarians, it's definitely gonna be like a whole different vibe.
Right, like even just listening to like this will lead me to my next question for you. Are you more of a Tory Lanez or a Drake fan? Because I feel like they're the two biggest, in my opinion.
No, they're definitely, well, in the Weeknd, but Weeknd's in his own.
Right, he's in his own lane.
Yeah, know? But Tory and Drake are so different too. To compare them, honestly, I fuck with Tory because I really like his flow on some shit. Like I like how he can do like, I'm not even gonna try to do it right now, but like just how he switches up his shit a lot, and he's cocky as fuck too. So it's like, and with the whole situation with his politics that went on, I feel like he dealt with it like as good as he could too. So I rate that. But I fuck with Drake too. Drake's out here doing a lot. Right. So I like Drake's music too, but who am I more likely to listen to? Probably Tory.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Tory, to me, like I listen to Tory because I like the mix of flows. Like, you know, it's like it's always something kind of new with him.
And he's got he's got the flows that just make your brain happy, like, you know. But Drake, I like Drake's bossy shit too. Like when he come out with I'm Upset and stuff, I was like, okay, this still bang on here. It's sick. So Drake's got his too, and he's a Scorpio, so Scorpio gang.
All right, today's episode is sponsored by Nokturnal, also Let's Rap. Today we have with us Riffic DaGul. We just wanted to take a few moments just to talk to him about his album, kind of what it's about, what kind of sound. And you know, what made you guys kind of go into doing this album, and what's more to come?
So first of all, shouts to my dude Ayon. He's a brother from another. We've been working together I want to say a little under a year now, and we just been cooking like real heavy. So this most recent project we dropped is actually a playlist. It's called the Dear Summer playlist, and it just gives you that summer vibe. You know, I think the OG on the block to the shorty with her man and everybody and their granny and their kids, and everyone's gonna mess with it. You know, it has a bit of everything, but more importantly, it just has a summer vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have lyrics in there, we have melodies in there, we have no features because that's just how we get down. Right now, we're just kind of grinding and trying to build up our own name. So Dear Summer is officially our first release together. You know, Ayon, he's out here from the UK, and we're having an opportunity to really mesh our musical styles and what we do. So this is the first project to highlight that. And through this project, our next release, which is coming up, I want to say, you know what? I won't even put a date on it, but the next release is coming up real shortly. It's going to be called Studio 134. And that's our moniker, that's our label, that's our brand. I want to give Nokturnal the exclusivity and put it out there to the world right now. First on this show, Studio 134 is the new umbrella, whatever you want to call it. and that's also the title of the next project we're gonna drop, and that's just the hub. That's just the headquarters. 134 is just where we cook, and it is who we are. And it's becoming our staple.
And where can people? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the next project is 134. So Studio 134, that's gonna be a whole next world. So, but right now you could catch Dear Summer, which is a playlist. It's not an album. It's not an EP. It's a playlist, and you can catch it on Spotify, Apple Music. You could catch it on my page, Riffic, DaGul, or Aeon, A_0_N. Spotify, there's a lot of red tape and all that, so we had to make sure our spellings of our names were a certain way and all this stuff. But don't get it twisted. It's Riffic, DaGul, it's Aeon, and we got a lot more coming. Like the crazy part is, with the whole game, you gotta pace yourself. So we're sitting on a lot, but we got a plan to unfold it. We're probably gonna drop a project each month.
And then the project itself, like you were saying, there's something there for everybody.
Something for everybody, and our styles are so similar, but there's still contrasting components to what we do. You know what I'm saying? So like, Aeon's from the UK. Those guys got filthy mouths.
Yeah, he's nice.
You know what I'm saying? He's nice with it.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, he'll come from a little bit more of a raw angle than me, because I don't cuss, but I'll definitely keep it 100 with you. And sometimes, my words are sharp too. So there's a contrasting factor, even though we're so similar, and we mesh well. So it's a good listen. And It's not even long, it's short. You could probably play it back 3 times before you realize,
Right. Yeah. No, but again, thank you for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Make sure, everybody go check it out. Check out Spotify. Yeah. Check out Spotify. Check out everything, and make sure we go support. I think it's a major part, like right now in Toronto, that we go out and we support other artists and local artists and help develop them and grow them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, 100%. We want to shout out again. Today's episode sponsored by Nokturnal. Stay tuned. Let's get it. And then just in regards to, I wanted to ask you about, we were having this debate, me and some of my boys, about writing your lyrics. Is that very important, or someone else writing your lyrics?
100%.
From an MC standpoint, what do you think?
I think that's important as shit. Like, how are you an artist and you're not writing your own? It's like a cook who's presenting food that he didn't make, kind of like,
That's a good example. That's a dope example.
Well, it's true, and it's like, to each their own. I mean, like, I know Cardi doesn't write all her own shit, but it's like, I get it when people like Nicki get like in their feelings when they're being compared to artists who don't write their own shit when they do write their own shit, because it's like, how are you gonna compare 2 people when you had a whole team writing one song and one unique individual writing the next? You know what I mean? So it's like, because it's like, what would Nicki's song sound like if she had 10 writers on her shit?
Very true.
So it's like, it's hard to compare that.
My boy gave an example, and tell me what you think. He says that once you get to a certain level, you get too big. You don't have the time because you're doing so many things. You're diversifying yourself, right? So now you might be doing, commercials. You might be doing food. You might be doing other things too, right? Your money's going in a lot of different places. You don't have time to write. Right. So should we discredit that person for no longer writing if they did it initially and then they stopped because of they're now an artist, right? So they become a machine. Right. So people feed the machine. So they go, hey, I wrote this for you, just spit it, and then the song is done. But you're an MC, so.
And sometimes you're in the studio and like you're just writing and somebody shoots off like a thing and you're like, oh, that's sick. So it's like, to what degree does it count as somebody else writing your own shit? But yeah, I don't know. I need to write my own shit. I get it. It's like when you're busy and stuff like that, and especially when you get the fame and everything, I feel like you'd have a harder time relating because you get lost in the sauce, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even like being in the city too long because I feel like I get lost in the sauce here. Right. So it's like, yeah, so I get it. I get why people would get people to write their shit, but is it the right thing to do when that's your career and what you're known for doing? I don't know. I don't know.
What are from a financial standpoint, what are budgets like? How much money do you need to invest to do what you're doing?
You need quite a bit of money to invest, but I mean, it depends. Like, you don't not do what you love because you don't have 20K in the bank right now. Like, you know, like if you got a band, like you could start from there. Like, it starts with your studio time, and then your engineers, your producers, and then if you want to make your way to music video, then you need a little bit more to work with. But honestly, like, if you're sick with your shit and you're optimistic, like you can make nothing out of, like you can make something out of nothing basically. Like,
Right.
you know, like my Take Notes music video was basically all a collab. Like I just reached out to everybody. My girl's like, why are you asking them? They're gonna say no. And it's like, no, like if they say no, it is what it is. Like at least I asked. And it's like I ended up getting like my videographer to collab, outfit, makeup, hair, like all that, you know what I mean? So I ended up only paying for the Airbnb for the spot. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
dope.
like,
That's good.
yeah, so I saved enough money. Like it's not the best quality, but when you're coming up as an artist, it's like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's good advice to give the people that want to do
Yeah,
it.
definitely. You have to, because everybody making it look like it's easy out here and everybody's like on their shit. Everybody got Cuban links, but it's like, it's not, we struggling out here still.
And
It's
you,
like,
and you wipe it, it turns brown or something right away. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you gotta fake it till you make it sometimes. Like, shit, I remember my faking video, I was trying to rent a fucking chinchilla coat fur, and I was just like trying to do the most, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not even here yet. Like, I don't even fuck with fur. I'm a vegetarian. Like,
Exactly. So obviously there's something to be said about just being authentic to who you are. You don't
Yeah.
need to try to emulate everything else that's already seen in
Right.
music videos.
I mean, it's like, cause you could still be authentic, but you like other styles, right? And as you grow, your style's like obviously gonna change, right? I fuck with the fur coats. I like the fur coats, but I'm like,
Right.
if it was a fake fur coat, I would have liked it better. But then everybody be talking shit because I'm wearing fake fur. So
Right.
I'm like, there's no winning. So you definitely just gotta be confident, like I said earlier, and just, you know, like do what you want to do and do what you love. Like, because as long as you're cool with you, then fuck what everybody else says.
Absolutely. So just in regards to your album, you don't have an album you said, but you're doing singles. Like, talk to some of the singles you've done. What inspired you to make those, and then, you know, show them right here, and what kind of just get you to talk through them. Like, talk to some of the, or pick your top two that are your favorite and talk about them.
So I actually never really talked about this open yet, but so kind of what pushed me to do my music, what I was saying, like earlier, the court situation, I ended up running into some situation. I ended up getting 4 gun charges. My ex had got shot on my birthday actually, so
That's crazy.
yeah, so anyways, I ended up with 4 gun charges after that, and then I was just like, you know, like I lost fucking my career. I was studying real estate, like I was supposed to be doing other shit, but I was like, everything happens for a reason, so I was like, let me just turn all this fuckery into a song and, like, you know what I mean, turn something negative into a positive, and that's basically what I did. And Faking is basically about everything I went through. Same with Take Notes, and then yeah, I put a couple little subliminals in my music video and stuff, and who knows, you know, and then
Right.
yeah.
And then what about the new one that's coming out? Bang Out. Go check that out. Or to be out soon, you said, right?
Yeah, Bang Out's already up and loaded on all platforms, so y'all could go check that out. And then I got an extra little sexy tip coming for y'all
All
with
right.
the new Bang Out video, so check that out.
So what's that one inspired by? That song.
Bang Out, so actually what
Sounds
happened,
aggressive. That's all I want to know. You
it
know?
does. So actually, somebody that was really close to me went and got locked up. So that was actually like the beginnings, like, you wanna bang out, come and chill and let us bang out, pussy wet and need a rang out, lay it out, lock them up, we plan a motherfucking breakout. So it was just like, you know, so that was about that. But truth be told, I was just trying to get as much songs as I could written during that period, because I signed up for a showcase at the Raw artists at Mod Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so I was doing my first performance and I only had 1 song and I had a 20-minute set. So I was like, shit, I had a month to make like,
Some content.
yeah, I was like, all right, we gotta get cracking. I went to my studio and I was telling my producer, like, yo, listen, we got like 3 hours and I need 4 songs tracked and I need them mixed and show versions by like Wednesday, and I think we were Sunday, so
sure.
like, yeah. So he was like, girl, you're crazy. Like, I'm like, fuck it. I actually performed Bang Out and I fucked it up, and I was like, nah, because the engineer, I just finished it the night before. I literally just finished tracking it, recording it the night before the show, and he's like, this is not a good idea. My producer's telling me, and I'm like, I don't care, it is what it is, we gotta do it. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, so I was like, Yeah, so I was like, fuck it. And then when we played it, the MC that was up on stage was trying to do like a little 1-2 scratch on my shit and fuck my whole beat up because I wasn't like used to it. So I was like, you know what, you gotta fucking, I was like, fuck that, play that back.
Absolutely.
I was like, and don't fucking touch my shit. So yeah, I got that done. And
Okay.
That's the story of Bang Out.
That's what's up. And then just in regards to like making a song, what would you say, what makes a good song?
I think melody and what catches people, like, you know, like, you don't want to be boring, like, you don't want to repeat the same shit too much, because I hate that when I'm listening to a song and it's like the same. It's like, really, you only have one lyric for the whole song, basically, you know? I like that. The beat 100%.
Absolutely.
Like, if I'm not fucking with the beat in the first 10 seconds of the song, it's not, like, I'm probably gonna switch it. So I try to think about that too when I'm trying to pick my beats for my audience, you know?
So in terms of, you know, your future, what can we look for? Like, and what can we expect from you? Are you doing mixtapes? Are you doing albums? Like,
I'm just working on singles right now, so until my following gets built up, I'm gonna keep dropping singles. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with it, but I'm definitely trying to give that old school flavor, but also with some new school flavor as well. I'm working with an Afrobeats artist right now, so on a track, so that should be dropping in the next couple months too. And yes, a lot of versatility. I got something for everybody, so everybody and their mother could come listen.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah.
And then obviously your content, like you said, is gonna be different stories, different type of, you know, I guess messages ultimately. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on my YouTube too a lot, so I'm trying to find like more content to kind of post on there and whatnot. So I'll probably be doing like, I don't know, maybe like Q&As or just like random stuff with my girls and stuff.
Right.
Posting this, obviously, the interview.
Absolutely.
Shout out Let's-Rap.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. So, just in terms of where we can look for you, we want to thank you for being here. Just plug in anything, like even obviously your nails. You do nails too, like.
Yeah, if y'all need a girl, I got you. I do pop-up shops at the Champagne Boutique when I come to Toronto, and then yeah, I just do my thing back home too. Yeah, just basically funding the rap too, you know what I mean? Absolutely. So you gotta do what you gotta do at first, but yeah.
Alright, and then what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is @KillerKXO.
Killer K.
And I go by Kazza, so if you want to check me on Spotify, YouTube, go subscribe, because you know we got that new heat coming with the videos, so make sure you go subscribe.
And then we'll get it up here.
Subscribe.
Absolutely. Well, again, thanks for being here, Kazza. We appreciate it. We'll be looking out for you.
Appreciate it.
We'll
Thanks
try
for
to
having me.
repost everywhere we can. And,
right, we're gonna have to do a recap next year, see
hey,
where we at.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
All right, appreciate it. Second episode, let's rap. We out.
Peace.